This is a setup where you can interact with top-tier AI models directly within your local text editor. By following this workflow, you can set up free API access for models like GPT-5, Claude, and Gemini to handle your coding and debugging tasks. To begin, you will need two things: an active GitHub account and Visual Studio Code. Generating an API key is only the first step. For this to actually function, you have to implement a specific routing configuration that we will set up at the end. Once that routing is active, your editor becomes an environment that can alternate between these different models on the fly. First, go to the Blue Minds platform and sign in using your GitHub credentials. On your dashboard, you will see a starting credit of $100. This provides a long-term runway for development before you ever need to consider a paid tier. Now, select the Models Marketplace from the top navigation. This is the directory of all supported AI providers. You can see the specific rates for each model here. Choosing a model based on its balance of response speed and token cost will help you maximize the lifespan of your credits. We are using GPT-5 for this example. Locate the model ID string in this column and copy it to your clipboard. The advantage here is treating these models as modular components, allowing you to swap providers based on the specific needs of your project. Next, move to the Token Management console to create your access credentials. Click Create Token. You can keep the default group, but ensure the expiration is set to never, so your access doesn't time out. In the quota field, select Unlimited. This ensures that the system won't cut your connection during a high-volume coding session. If you need to restrict this token for security reasons, you can use these settings to limit its use to a single specific model. Once you hit Submit, your API key will appear. Copy this string and save it in a secure location. This string of characters acts as the authenticated bridge between your local environment and the remote inference servers. Now open VS Code. Go to the Extensions menu and search for Quen to install the AI coding agent. Open the Quen settings and find the API provider dropdown at the top of the interface. This diagram shows the routing logic. Select the OpenAI compatible override so the extension routes requests to a custom endpoint. In the base URL field, paste a provided address. This points the signal toward the Blue Minds infrastructure. Next, paste your API key into the designated field to authenticate your requests. Finally, paste the model ID you copied earlier into the model name field. This completes the circuit for that specific model. To confirm everything is set up correctly, open the chat and send a simple hello. Keep in mind that the initial response usually takes about 5 to 8 seconds while the model initializes the session. The ability to use these models for free depends entirely on your ability to redirect local environment traffic through these custom routes. With the test successful, you now have a functional development assistant that runs on the initial credit balance we secured. This diagram illustrates the scalability of this setup. You can use this same base URL and API key to integrate AI into web applications, mobile wireframes, or custom backend services. If you want to see how these models perform under pressure, watch our recent test of the Alibaba Cloud Quen 3.7 Max model. Shifting from basic consumer chat interfaces to direct API management provides you with a modular toolkit that you can adapt to any development project.